Hi, everybody. Welcome to a new program that we are created here at the Westfield Athenaeum. My name is Gretchen, the Digital Services Librarian, and you might recognize some of these faces who are with me. We have Anne, Olivia, and Erica, who are all also librarians here at the Athenaeum. And in this new feature, we will be using the titles that are most requested by patrons at our library that clearly have a long wait list. And we're going to show you how to use different resources to find read-alike titles, and then give you a reading list at the end so you don't actually have to do the work if you don't want to, so that you can find these books and read them while you're waiting. So we'll be modeling 4 different resources, and we might include more as we go along, but check back every week and see one of us modeling a new resource. So we'll go through this, show you one a week, and then we're all going to discuss how good or bad the read-alikes that we have found are, because we did this in a test, and let me tell you, some resources are not equal to others. So today I will be showing you how to find read-alikes via the website Goodreads for one of the top requested titles on our list right now, Leave the World Behind by Rumaan. I may be pronouncing that wrong, but it's fine because it's about to appear on my screen. And while I'm doing this, my colleagues will be using 3 other resources. 1, the CW Mars catalog. 2, a resource called NoveList that you can either access in the library or at home. And 3, good old Google. So with that being said, let's get started. So if you're not familiar with the website, this is what Goodreads looks like when you are signed in. This is a website that you need to have an account for. But if you don't have a Goodreads account, you can actually access pages for books in another way. All you have to do is Google it. So we do Leave the World Behind Goodreads. And here's the page right here. And bam, even if you don't have a Goodreads account, you too can get to this page. It will just give you a pop-up like, sign into Goodreads, and then you can X out of it and not have to worry about it. So Goodreads gives you a rating by a number of Goodreads users. This is all user generated. Tells you how many ratings and how many reviews. If you're the kind of person that likes to read reviews, you can scroll down and get all these reviews. You can also see lists that this book is included on. This is another way to get similar-ish titles, but these aren't really read-alikes. For the read-alikes, we are going to go up here to a section called Readers Also Enjoyed. See similar books. And so for the purposes of this, we are looking at Goodreads members who rated this book highly, and these are other books that similar readers have also rated highly. Now, that sometimes means these are a little weird, but what it recommends for people who want to read Leave the World Behind are The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix, Redhead by the Side of the Road by Anne Tyler, Chosen Ones by Veronica Roth, Hidden Valley, Inside the Mind of an American Family by Robert Kolker, and The Book of Longings by Sue Monk Kidd. You will get more as you scroll down here, but for the purposes of this talk, we're just going to use these 5 as we discuss. All right, we have all done our searches. Like you just saw, I used Goodreads, and you saw what came up for my recommendations, but Olivia has used the catalog, the CW Mars catalog that you might be familiar with. Anne has used Google, and Erica has used NoveList. So we saw from mine that we got a weird mix of, there was 1 sci-fi book, 1 nonfiction book, and then 3 literary fiction books, which was weird. I'm feeling like if for this book, like a sci-fi book, it's a little bit weird. Anne, you want to talk about what Google gave you?
Yep, Google Yeah, Google ended up giving me, I think, what are sort of the pulled off of some most popular lists. The first book they gave me was by Alice Hoffman, Magic Lessons. So, you know, I almost want to say rom-com, but it's not. It's a combination. She has a combination of book. His Only Wife by Peace Adzo Medal. Rich and Pretty, a novel by Rumaan Alam, and The Searcher by Tana French. And all of these have been sort of on the bestseller list for nonfiction. So I have a feeling like Google just goes and does some sort of algorithm and pulls them off of the bestseller lists from somewhere.
Well, it did also give you one other book by the same author, it sounds like, too.
Right, right.
All right.
So just interesting what they're up to. Yeah, yeah, I'm not exactly sure what Google's doing, but they say these are the best similar books to this book. And I am not familiar with these books, but I have a funny feeling if I went through them, I'd be like, what the heck is the connection other than that they're on some bestseller list? But hopefully we'll discover that that's not quite the case. But that's what it seems like at first glance.
So as you see through these resources, like Google will give you things similar, looks like on bestseller lists. Goodreads is reader generated data, but just because I liked one book and also this other book does not make those two books read-alikes for each other. So sometimes that list can be a little bit funky. Olivia, what did the catalog give back for you?
So the record of the book suggested that it was a psychological suspense. So I looked for those types of books, and I got The Sweetness of Life by Paulus Hotchgrader, butchered that. The Dark Rose, Aaron Kelly. Betrayal of Love and Freedom, Paul Kuljic, again. Love Gone Mad, a novel, Mark Rubenstein, and then Bloodprint, a novel of psychological suspense, Kitty Sewell. So I'm not really sure, like, if there's more nuanced things that happen in the book, these books might or probably don't have those same nuanced themes as Leave the World Behind. So,
but at least unlike with what Anne and I found, what Olivia found at least matches on an overarching thematic, right? So Olivia's titles might be a little bit closer if you're going for the vibe of a psychological thriller, rather than just books other people think are similar for weird reasons. So Erica, what did Novelists spit back?
So kind of going with the psychological suspense sort of theme, it gave me a good number of things that seemed like that. We have Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Tremblay, California by Edan Lepucki, Karen Thompson Walker, Age of Miracles, Beginning at the End, Mike Chen, and The Couple Next Door by Shari Lapena. Of course, it gave me more as well, but most of these match the psychological suspense genre, just like Leave the World Behind. A lot of them are character driven, so kind of looking more at who the people are rather than what's happening around them. But a lot of kind of either apocalyptic sounding things, a lot of award winners, a lot of kind of home invasion-y sort of ideas with like be like kind of being trapped in one location, it seems like. So yeah, going along with the psychological suspense and kind of the person-focused aspect of it, I think.
Right.
So what we're seeing with these resources is that Erica, using Novelists, was able to drill down not just to psychological thriller like the catalog gave to Olivia, was also able to get into some more nitty-gritty, nuanced thematics. And Novelists will tell you that. So maybe you don't want something apocalyptic, maybe you want something more contemporary. Novelists will tell you when you go in there what these books are like, and they'll also tell you why those books are read-alikes for Leave the World Behind, as opposed to Google or Goodreads, where you're just like, I mean, I guess this is what the computer algorithm said.
Right.
So we will have this list of titles after the end of this video. And I'm thinking, just from me, that Novelist in the catalog might be where you want to start rather than Goodreads and Google. Is that what we're getting?
I think so.
I think so.
Yeah.
So enjoy the list after that. And don't forget to request the book that catches your attention through our Library to Go program. And we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.